Hi, today we're going to have this video in my kitchen because my dogs are outside and they don't want to come in. Welcome to Mix and Plants and Crafts. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to talk about some plants I bought in March. I think in total I bought about 15 plants in March, but I think I'm just going to show you 11 or 12. There are some that's repropagating because I got plants shipped to me and the root system is not to my liking. It's very small. It is expected when you buy starter plants. I can like put it in a little greenhouse situation where it can be propagated. So anyway, let's get into these 11 plants that I purchased. There is some stories behind some of the plants, and I will start with those first and work my way down. Okay, so the first plant I have is a pink princess marble. I purchased this plant for a purpose, and when I was consulting with the Etsy shop on what I was looking for, I sent a question to some specific nurseries that I have seen online, and this one reached out to me and we had a conversation, and they searched for a plant that they thought would work for my experiment. And this one, so one of the leaves came in all pink, which is what I wanted. And I'm hoping the next set of leaves to come in would be really high in variegation because I'm looking for an all white or all pink leaf. I know that's not ideal, but there is some things that I've been researching, watching some documentaries on these kinds of plants with all white leaves and all pink leaves. There's no chlorophyll in those leaves to photosynthesize, but I have something I would like to try. So hoping that this one will come in really high in variegation. A new leaf is coming to see how it's going to be. We'll see. It is quite pretty with the marbling. I think this leaf is nice. This was an all pink leaf, and of course it's not doing well, which is expected. And that brings me to this point right here. Someone from one of the Discord plant groups I follow, she reached out to me through someone else. She had a all white top cut of her. I think this is a white knight, and she sent me the top cut of all white leaves. The next leaf that's supposed to come in should be all white as well. I know this is not ideal. I know. I know the plant might die. I have an experiment that I want to try. So this is why these I'm getting all these plants. But I think I'm patient enough to wait for something to give me an all white leaf because the experiment is really not going to work if it is a chop. It has to be already rooted. So this probably won't make it, but we'll see. I still think something might happen. When you have plants, the whole thing is one big experiment, so that's why we're doing this. So let me fill you into why I want to do this. So there's a podcast I listened to a few months ago. I think the girl is Veronica Happy. She does a podcast called Oh Happy Plants, and she talked about a book she read regarding trees and how the forest, the roots are intertwined, they're connected, and the roots ending up feeding the other trees nearby that's struggling. So this concept where the tree roots are linked together underneath is sort of like a marketplace where the roots feed other plants in the community, and nutrition is given to a plant that is starving. I did watch a documentary last night that talked about this exact same thing that she talked about in her podcast. The documentary is called The Intelligence of Trees. It was an exciting piece of research. They talked about how the true roots are intertwined and connected. They form bonds and friendships. And this also can happen to tropical plants as well in the forest. If I get a plant with all white leaves, I'm not going to chop it. I'm going to plant it with another plant with all green leaves. I would actually possibly plant it with maybe 2 or 3 plants together in one pot, so these plants could help each other out. And studying plants over the past few years, it's been an amazing discovery of how they can help each other and work together. I know it sounds weird, but that's the experiment I want to try. This is why I have these plants right now. So I'm hoping, I don't think this one's going to make it, but I'm hoping to see if I can get a few more roots in here, and then I'm going to pot it up with another green plant to see how that would work. I hope I was able to get my point across clear regarding my all white and all pink leaf type of experiments I want to try. Next plant I bought is a Begonia white ice. Very cute. This is a starter plant, and it came to me in a really weird substrate. I think the substrate is actually called path cow. It's a kind of a sponge. And when I was trying to get the plant out of the substrate into some soil, I ripped every single root. So I'm repropagating it. So this is one that I'm repropagating as well. I don't know if it's going to make it. Um, there are some roots forming, but we'll see. Yeah, so this plant is a Begonia white ice, and it is really pretty. I shouldn't have gotten a starter plant. I should have got a plant a little bit more established, but I did. um we'll see what happens. Okay, so the next plant is the variegated marble peperomia. This plant is so stinking gorgeous. These leaves are stunning. Cannot believe I haven't purchased this plant before. Every leaf has something stunning to show. Oh, so I actually want to repropagate some of these, so I can kind of get a fuller plant. Um, this is the only all green leaf, and everything else is completely variegated. Very, very nice. I did lose a leaf over here. It looks great. And these leaves, amazing. Oh, I can't even. The Hoya Krohniana. Um, it's a starter plant. I got the white and black one. The white one, I was able to pot it up into a substrate. The black one, that one too, didn't have a lot of roots, like the white ice. In the same type of sponge it came in, and it some of the roots ripped. It actually didn't really have a lot of roots, so I'm trying to repropagate it in my little propagation bag. So another Hoya for my collection. Okay, so this plant is very common, Scindpasus Silvery Ann. That I purchased this plant in. I've purchased a prayer plant from her before and a few other plants. I think she sells from her collection, and she doesn't have a lot of plants, but when she do have something, it looks like this. Very beautiful and shiny. I think this is a common plant, so I'm glad to actually have this in my collection. So the next plant I have is the spring cactus. I wanted this particular one for the longest. I have a Thanksgiving cactus. This is also a common plant. I have a Thanksgiving cactus. I had 3 of them, one a cutting and 2 plants. I gave 2 of the plants away, and I kept the cutting. The cutting have been doing really well and is been giving me flowers. But I wanted to get the spring cactus in my care. Just the leaves are of this particular cactus is round, and not pointy. It's not really a cactus, like a succulent, I think. I think I'm going to really enjoy this plant this year. I'm losing light as the minutes go down. I'm gonna see if I can hurry this up. The next plant I bought for my collection is a beautiful surprise. This is the plant. It is a crocheted string of pearls. This is so beautiful and creative. I love it. This, it needs no water. It can be on display completely in a place where there's no light coming in and I can enjoy it. I am loving how this is looking. I'm loving it. And the pot, she signed it. You can find her on Instagram at natjoy22. I'll give you a link to her Instagram next to the name of this plant so you can find her if you want to order one. I I love it. It is so stinking cute. So the next set of plants, also fake plants, I actually made these. I have this cactus, the type of process of how I made it on my YouTube channel. I looked online for a pattern or a design, could not find one. So it took me about 3 months to figure out how to make it, but I was determined. I contacted my sewing ladies and they gave me some advice on how to get the spiral on it. And it took about 7 tries, but I was able to get it. Okay, so the next plant I wanted to share, it is another Hoya. I went to a nursery last week and I haven't been to this nursery in a few years. I saw it and I wanted it and I got it. I love it. It's Hoya Crimson Princess, and it looks quite nice and established. And excited to see this grow. Yeah, it is quite rooted. I did pop it out of it. It's now I got dirt all over my table. I did pop it out at while I was at the nursery to see how it was doing. So they're not just cuttings stuck into a pot waiting to get rooted. It's already rooted. So yeah, very pretty. Next set of plants are also part of that collection that I bought at the nursery. It's Tradescantia, the white variegated, and this is a pink one. I'm gonna pot these up together, but I was actually looking for this online and I'm glad I found it at the shop. These are very common houseplants, but the reason why I did buy this, because I have the dark one, they propagate really easy and grow really quickly. So I'm hoping to get a bushier plant by fall. I'm hoping. But the reason why I bought this is when I meet people that are not into plants and they come over and see my collection, I'll be able to give them cuttings of this because this is so easy for a beginner to grow. Um, and it loves water, not wet soil, moist, but I tend to underwater these plants and they still do okay. And when they get leggy, not a big deal because you can just chop and propagate it. It's great. It's a great learning experience for a new plant parent to have these plants around. So if you're a beginner or you want to get house plants, get these to start off with. These are great. You will definitely grow your green thumb if you have these plants. Last plant I got from the nursery, it's an air plant. Zero, I don't know how to say the name of this plant. Um, so yeah, why I think this plant is so cute. It looks like a bun. I can you can put this up on your hair. It's like a ponytail bun. How cute is this? Sometimes my hair could look like this, but how cute. I have a very tiny air plant that I have up in my room, and it's nice to have a bigger one just to see how these grow. I'm gonna create a little hanging thing for it so it can hang in the sun. Um, I'm, I hear, I think these flower as well. Exciting. The concept of air plant kind of tripped me out because there's no soil. But yeah, very, very pretty. I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing some of the plants I purchased in March. I actually will not be buying any more plants. I will be going on a plant no buy. I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to wait a few more weeks because Plants by Melissa, her shop just opened and I want to support her. So I'm holding off on this plant no buy until I'm able to get into her website to purchase a plant from her, because every time I've gone into her website, it's been sold out and I cannot get it on time. So I'm hoping this week I'll be able to make a purchase from her shop because I love her channel. I'm longing to purchase a plant from her and give her some support. And as soon as I'm able to buy from her shop, I will be hitting the button on my plant no buy. My plant no buy is going to be a little bit more intentional. I will do a video on it. It's going to be a month long with a to-do every day intention to learn more about the plants and enjoy the plants that I already have in my collection. And I'm hoping it will go longer than a month, but I want to set up myself for success instead of failure. So commit to a month and see how it goes. Let me know which plants you have that I've shown or your experience with them. And if you've ever had a plant with all white and all pink leaves, and what is your experience? If you're looking to try the experiment of potting it up with another green plant, let me know, please, because I believe those plants would help each other. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week.